Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Balanced Vibes podcast. I am your host, Kirsten. Thank you so much for being here today with me. Today, we're going to talk about some of the reasons why somebody might choose to track their macros. And of course, your first thought is, but obviously, to lose weight and to lose fat. And this is the main goal for everybody. And I gotta say, for most people, yes, of course it is. However, there are also other reasons why somebody might choose to track their macros. A lot of it has to do with their health, some of it may have to do with their performance, and so on. So, this is what we're going to cover today. Before that, though, I want to invite you to join my Facebook group. It is called Fit and Fueled. And inside this group, we have conversations about health and fitness and macros and foods and all that good stuff. So I hope you join it. It's totally free. It is called Fit and Fueled, and the link to it is in the show notes and also in the YouTube description. And if you follow me on Instagram, you can also click the link in my bio and you will see where to join the Facebook group as well. All right, but let's move on to today's topic and talk about some of the reasons why somebody might choose to track their macros and how this will be helpful for them. The first thing, of course, like I already mentioned, most people want to lose body weight and body fat. And in my opinion, macros are a really, really good way to do it. It's, for me personally, what I found the most effective way to do it because it's just so straightforward and you're pretty much guaranteed to get results. Now, there are a couple of big caveats there. So guaranteed results, they are guaranteed if, first of all, your macros are calculated right for you. If you are working with a coach or whether you're doing this yourself, you know how to do this. The idea is that the point is that you have to have right calculations because if you're off, then you're not going to get the results. And the other big thing is that, and this is a really, really big one, you have to be very aware of that. You're going to get results if you are hormonally healthy, right? If you are constantly fighting off something, if you're just like sick all the time, or you are overtrained, or your cycles are a total mess and your thyroid is slow and sluggish, or you have like adrenal fatigue, then these conditions make it very difficult for you to get those weight loss, fat loss results. And honestly, your first priority should be to take care of these issues first, because I really want you to be healthy before you start fat loss. So macro tracking works wonderfully. It's so straightforward. It's pretty much guaranteed results, but you have to be healthy for it. And if you're not, then deal with your health issues first, because as you already know, being in a calorie deficit is stress on the body, and if the body is already weak for one reason or another, it's already under a lot of stress, then tracking will put even more, if you are in a deficit, if you're going to go into deficit to lose weight, then it's going to put it even more stressful state. So, of course, fat loss, weight loss, number one. This is the main reason why people even get started with it. And this is also, I would say, at least 9 out of 10 of those people who apply to work with me have as their goal. However, there are always some other goals too, and these are the ones that I'm going to cover next. Now, the next goal, why somebody might start working with macros, is that they want to build muscle and they want to build physical strength. And I'm so happy to see that more and more women are doing this. This is the reason why they get interested in it, because I think it's getting a bigger thing right now. And I'm very happy to see it that, we start to understand that there's so much value in muscle building. It's not only something that men are doing. The goal isn't, to become a bodybuilder. I feel like this is the association that a lot of people have had. Oh my goodness, like women lifting weights, it means, getting big and bulky, and that's horrible. And now I feel like things are turning around and we're starting to see actually how much value there is in muscle building, also, from a health perspective, but also to look better. That what's wrong with that? Sometimes people tell me, "Oh, I know it probably sounds like bad, but I actually really want to look better." I'm like, well, why is that a bad thing? It's everybody's right to look good and feel great in their body and in their skin. So now, if you have the muscle building and strength building goal, then of course your macros have to be support that. Your food intake has to support that, and in order to build muscle and get stronger, you have to be at least at your maintenance. You have to be eating at least as much as you burn. If you're eating less than that, then muscle building is not going to happen because your muscle needs some energy, right? It makes total sense, I think. So now you have to be eating at least at maintenance. or even in a slight surplus if you have that goal, because now you're feeding your body some extra. And if your workouts are on point, you are doing them regularly, consistently, and they are really well programmed, then you're going to build some muscle that's going to make you really strong, and you're also going to look good, and has it also has so many health benefits. If you don't know if you are even eating at maintenance, then I really recommend that you do those quick calculations that you can find in my Lean Ladies Calorie, Protein, and Workout Guide. It teaches you exactly how to figure out if you are at maintenance or not. Maybe you're under, maybe you are even planning to go in a little bit of surplus to give your muscle even more fuel. Why not to try that, especially if you've been dieting all the time, which most people have. So get that guide, figure out what your numbers are, and you may find that you are currently eating like 400 calories less than what your maintenance level is. And this is exactly the reason why you haven't been able to put on muscle, even though you really want it and maybe you're doing the right workouts, but your food has to support that. Okay, so the next reason why somebody might consider working with macros is to have better hormonal balance. This is a really important thing, and I see it so often that when women start to get their macros right, they typically need to increase their protein and also increase their fiber, by the way, in addition to fat. Knowing their numbers for fats and carbs and proteins, when they also start increasing fiber, many of their hormonal symptoms start to go away. And I've seen it several times where women are telling me that after a certain period of time, usually like, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, they're telling me that, oh, my period came and it didn't have any symptoms. I didn't feel bloated at all. I didn't feel pain anymore. And also the periods are getting more regular. And this comes from eating right for your needs. And it often comes from keeping the protein high. That also helps you to regulate blood sugar. And this is one of the reasons why your periods will be better now. So also muscle building, right? The more muscle you have, the more insulin sensitive you are, which also helps you definitely with having more of that lean body mass, muscle. So all around, it's really good for your hormonal balance to track your macros and understand where is your food coming from. And of course, a lot of the times, I mean, what macros they're coming from, because sometimes even if the calories are good, are you're meeting your needs calorie wise, but then your protein is super low and you don't even know this, then your body might be still struggling, let alone those cases where the calories are way under the person's need and they are really struggling with hormonal issues. And this is very common when somebody's eating like 1,400 calories, but they actually need way more, that they really struggle with their periods, with their PMS, with their fertility, and all that stuff. So hormonal balance is definitely another reason to really learn about macronutrition, understand what your body needs for its health as well. The next reason why somebody might get interested in macronutrition and work with macros is they want to learn healthy habits and healthy portions. Also pretty common because I feel like there's just so much unhealthy advice out there. It's very, very unbalanced. Leave all the carbs out or minimize all the fat, or let's now eat all vegan or all carnivore. I think it's just so unbalanced that people get so confused and think they have to try out everything. The truth is really, I mean, if you think about it, isn't it the most logical thing that balance is key, right? Balance is key. And with macronutrition, you learn that balance, what it actually looks like, to put all three macronutrients on your plate, right? Where do you get your carbs? How much protein do you need? How much fat do you need? What does a healthy plate look like? I would say that for most people, a healthy plate isn't just like a big plate of, I don't know, leafy greens, or just a big plate of meat and nothing else. I think we need more than that. We need true balance in order to be actually healthy. And because of all the diet stuff, people just have forgotten that or even considered that this is an option. However, when they start tracking their macros and understand how much more variety they can actually have, this for a lot of people is like relief, and they get good results from it, and they are more satisfied, and they have better like well rounded diet. And I think macros are also really helpful in teaching you what healthy intuitive eating should look like. So intuitive eating, a lot of people, the way they eat intuitively is not very healthy at all, because I think we mix up intuition and just cravings, like, oh, I really want that whatever the thing is right now. But this is not necessarily healthy for you if you all the time, every time, listen to that intuition and or that craving, and that leads you to eat like 3 donuts or whatever it is. It may sound like it's intuitive, but it really isn't. So in order to do intuitive eating in a healthy way, it's super helpful to learn about macronutrition, understand what a balanced plate looks like, and also what balanced portions look like. So these are all the reasons why somebody might be interested in learning about macros. And it's the biggest feedback that I get is that, okay, it's so, I didn't even know that it's possible to eat in such a balanced way. I don't feel deprived. And I feel actually really, really good because I have taken the time to figure out what healthy intuitive eating should really look like. Because like I said earlier too, I don't think that you should be tracking forever. Some people want to, but most people don't. But after you've done this for long enough, you figure out what healthy eating looks like, and then you just keep doing it. And now your protein portions are probably way bigger than they were before when you did it just only based on your cravings. So I think it's super, super valuable. The next point why somebody might want to track macros, start tracking macros, is to stop dieting, right? Everybody is, I can't say everybody, but so many people are just so over dieted because there are so many out there, and people think they have to try out one after another because the first one, even though it worked at first, then it stopped working, and now it's time to get to on another one and then another one. And then just like jump from one to the next, and we just really cause a lot of damage to our bodies by doing that. And now when we almost like get this freedom or this permission to stop dieting, this is a big thing for a lot of people because they see, oh, I don't actually have to leave an entire food group out. Oh, I don't have to eat all the or leave all the carbs out. Oh, okay, a glass of wine actually fits in my weekend. These little realizations are actually really, really freeing for people because they literally have this almost like newfound freedom, like, oh, what, I can actually have that, you're sure? And sometimes I even have people telling me that, hey, I did really well this last week, but I had on Wednesday I had a couple of cookies. It's still this old like dieting mentality that I wasn't supposed to have it. And I'm telling them, it's fine to have it because remember, you stopped dieting, you're not doing it anymore. And I'm not telling you that that this is going to be like eating bags of cookies all the time. This is going in the opposite direction too, right? This is the complete opposite of dieting. But what I'm trying to teach people or hoping to teach people or hoping that you take away from it is that you're going to stop dieting in terms of like being very, very restrictive with like what you can and cannot eat, and never having any flexibility and all that. I think macros are a really great teacher for that, how to have that flexibility without feeling oh you totally like fell off and now you have to start over, because I don't think you ever have to start over once you have found a good balance with macros. And then the last reason why somebody might consider working with macros is that they have a certain athletic performance goal, right? So it could be something like you are running your first marathon, or you're running your first half marathon, or of course taking to like a next level, a more extreme level, there is bodybuilding competition or fitness physique competition. The last one you probably cannot even do without macro tracking. But even for smaller, simpler things, such as, I'm going to run my first half marathon, I want to make sure that I'm fueling my body appropriately. How should I fuel myself before a long run? Is there any difference between that and then my short run? Or, whatever the athletic performance goal is, I want you to make sure that you go into it like feeling well fed and fueled for your performance. And this is also where tracking can be very helpful because, for example, when we're talking about like endurance events, you definitely do need to get a little bit more carbohydrates in your system before and after that. And you definitely have to increase your calories in, when you're preparing or before your event. So there are a lot of small things that are very helpful to know when you are preparing for things like that. So this is the last point that I had here today. So getting ready for a athletic performance or some sort of competition, also very helpful to learn about macros and how to fuel yourself because you want to perform well and you want to be ready for it. So let's go over these points one more time. Of course, the first reason was fat loss and or weight loss. The second one muscle building plus getting stronger. The third one, hormonal balance. Macros can be very helpful for that. The next one was learning healthy habits and healthy portions. The next one was stop dieting. And the last one was if you have a athletic performance goal that you need to be well fed and appropriately fueled for. So I hope this was helpful for you. Let me know if you have any questions. If you're interested in working with me, I also have a short application form that you can find in the YouTube video description and also in show notes and in my Instagram bio too. I am right now taking on new clients. So if you are interested, fill out this application. I will get it and I will get back to you. And we set up a Zoom call where we can talk a little bit more about your goals and how I can help you. All right, this is it for today. I hope you found this episode valuable and I'll see you again very soon. Bye bye.